gotta tell me some more stories, okay?
Hmm?
You gotta tell me some more stories.
Well,
And keep them honest, okay?
honest?
Yeah, honest.
That'll be
Well, I
pretty
don't know
hard
if
to
he's
do.
running out of stories.
You won't fib to me, right?
Hmm?
You tell me the truth.
He's running out of stories, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm running out of a lot of stuff, I'll tell you.
No, come on, you're still full of ginger.
Anybody hairless that I've plowed, they're not too damn smart, I don't think. I haven't met them yet anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to somebody that knew you, knew about your logging down here when you first came into this
Yeah.
country. What was it? Who was that guy? Oh, Broderick. Jack Broderick.
Jack Broderick.
Yeah, he was telling me about how you and your brother Mac used to log out there.
Yeah.
He said you guys, he verified. I know he told me the truth last time because he
Right.
said that he was a good logger. Jack said you were a good logger.
They cut more than the rest of them.
That's right, yeah, that's what
They
I...
cut 1,200,
Mm-hmm,
and the rest were cutting 700.
mm-hmm.
And they thought they were doing a big job. And then they come along, and Wes and Max was cutting 1,200. They didn't know what to think, and they were little guys.
Yeah, yeah,
They were small guys.
yeah, but strong and
Yes.
smart. They used their heads.
Well, they
too.
had Wes knew how to file a saw, so it would cut.
Yeah, yeah, that's the trick.
And they didn't have no electric saws in them days. They just had to saw by hand.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that old Henry, Jack Broderick's uncle, you know, he was the damnedest old reprobate I've ever run in my lifetime, and I've been around quite a bit. But anyway, he took a disliking to me somehow, and I don't know why. I never said nothing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing, this guy that he was blowing about that was from the coast, two big men, they were cutting 7,000 feet a shift. And look at, here, two kids come in with a great long saw, and
12,000.
we'll starve to death around here. We'll never get enough like. And he belly ached it out. Finally, his brother and I had worked together about 10 years previous, loading cars over in the Kootenai.
Mm-hmm.
Dalt, his name. So Dalt, he come down and he said, "My gosh, Wes," he said, "I didn't know you till you started to get mad around here." And I said, "I'm not getting mad." I said, "But if they don't leave me alone, I will get mad, and then they'll show them what's what." So he went over into the office then, Dalt did, and he come back and he said, "You know something?" I said, "No." He said, "That you two men can cut more logs in an hour than these other two can cut in a week. And their logs are cut right."
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, "And there's no more fooling around here." And this bull cook was in there, and he was bothering the life out of me. They were setting him onto me, you know. He was a kid from the prairie. And he come, I changed my bed, that was what started the whole thing. The stove was right just alongside the big stove there, and old Hank, he slept here, and he just kept that stove boiling hot all night. You know,
And you
God, I
roasted.
couldn't sleep. So
You roasted
this
it.
guy left away down the bunkhouse, and
Mm-hmm.
just a minute, his bed was off the bed, mine was on it, you know. Well,
Yeah.
then, I said I couldn't do that. I'd have to go see this kid from the prairie.
Yeah, the
And
bull
he
cook.
come in, and he lit into me.
Yeah.
And I took it. I didn't say no one. I just cooled off for a while. Finally, I see Dalton. I didn't know Dalton then, but him and I had worked together before, about 10 or 14 years before, loading cars. And he knew me, but I didn't know him because he got drier, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I see him coming out of his corner and making for the office. And I wondered what he was doing over there, and finally in comes the big shot, the boss. And he said, what it said to me, he said, "Is there somebody disturbing you in here?" And I said, "Oh, not enough to hurt." I said, "I can look after myself." And he said, "Well, you just look after yourself, and if they get bothering you, just knock the damned head off them. That's what I
Yeah.
do."
Yeah. And when that kid heard that, he stopped
Yeah.
bothering you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was it. And we went out there, and these big fellers, oh, one of them was about as big as you, and the other feller wasn't much smaller. And they were cutting 7,000 feet, you see, and they thought they was raising hell.
Mhm.
Mac and I went out there, ground up the old saw, you know, fiddled around. We averaged a little better than 12,000 feet a year. And we didn't work
Yeah.
half as hard as they did,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
But God damn it, they couldn't fire their saw, and I don't
Yeah.
think half of them knew what a saw was for, out
Yeah.
trying to log.
Yeah, 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 that'll happen. Well, we're going to try to get the government up here to try and do something about our game warden. Keep him here.
I wonder, what are they going to do about Gil?
Gil's retired.
I know he has, but what, they were going to move him to Benedict
No,
or
they
something.
weren't, not Gil.
Fred Rios.
The other game warden, the game warden that they got
Oh.
now.
Fred
Oh,
Rios,
I
yeah.
told you that before, Wes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gil is retired years ago.
Yeah, about 12 years.
Yeah,
He retired,
sure.
yeah.
He has nothing.
They really
but-
worked hard on that campaign. Oh, did they
Yeah.
work hard? Edie Gill and
Gil,
yeah.
Gil was a pretty good guy, you know.
yeah.
He was really
He never
tough, a real
arrested
old
you, did he?
policeman, but you know, he was honest. Gil would be honest with you.
Did he ever arrest you?
No,
No, we never broke the law,
Yeah,
so we couldn't.
I'm just giving you a hard time, okay?
you can't give me a hard time. I can take you out there in the yard and give you a damn hard time yet.
Yeah, I bet you could. Yeah, I bet you could.
He's
He
strong.
probably knows a lot more tricks than I do.
He's strong in his hands. His
Yeah,
hands are
yeah.
strong. Somebody shook hands with him here the other day.
Let's try that.
and
Huh? What?
Yes, he's got a good
and
grip.
and they
Good
said,
grip.
God, Wes, you still got a hell of a grip. On
Yeah, he
your-
sure
on
does.
your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. But every dog has its day, damn it all. And I've seen a damn lot of this country, north, south, east, and west.
Yeah.
And
Where's your
Yeah.
favorite place if you had to
Hmm?
live? If you had to live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
oh, why, gosh, you know, I just as soon be in Princeton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All your friends are
Right.
here.
Hmm?
All your friends
Well,
are
they're
here.
mostly all died off.
Yeah.
Everybody that worked for him on the government, we were counting them up the other day. They've all passed away. Younger men than what he was too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've all passed
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But I was
About
born
7
in
or
New
8 of them.
Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone.
I come of the foundation stock of this great country
Mm-hmm.
over 400 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I came. My ancestors came in the year 1000. Do you believe that?
I guess they could.
They were Vikings.
No.
The Vikings came to
Well, the
Newfoundland.
Vikings.
They came over to Newfoundland and to New Brunswick. They came there in about the year 1000. So they beat Columbus out by 400.
Yeah.
1492, almost 500 years, they beat Columbus out. I went over to Norway. Have you ever gone back to the Maritimes?
Hmm?
Have you ever gone over to the Maritimes?
Oh, I haven't been back to Maritimes for 60, 70 years.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever go back after you came west?
No,
That was
that's a
it.
goddamn poor. How the hell could I get back? Walk?
Well,
It was too
that's a
busy
long
making.
walk.
It was
Hmm?
too busy making a living for himself.
Yeah,
He never paid no attention to nobody.
yeah.
He just had to get out and go to work.
Then he didn't want to leave the fishing here. You like the fishing here, too.
Yeah.
Mac used to fish. Mac, his brother, used to fish through the ice, through a hole in the ice.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And did he ever used to catch the fish?
Where did Mac
Oh,
fish?
boy,
What lake
used
did he
to
like?
used to fish.
Where did Mac fish? What lake?
Oh, the lakes out on the Merritt Road there, and oh, all the lakes, we fished them all.
Through the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were out 2 weeks ago. And we drilled a hole in the ice like this, you know, about 6 inches, 6-inch hole with one of those spuds, you know, that drill. And we got a bite. The bobber went doink, 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 and whoosh, you know, we got him. And he was on there, and he took off. Instead of coming right up, he ran.
He got,
Big
off,
fish.
off the hook.
No, he took off. He went. He ran.
right.
He was still hooked.
It was,
And we had a fire right here, and the hole was right here. And you know that line, we didn't want to get it caught in the fire, that plastic line, you know. So I was over here, and he was handling the fish. And as we got it up. I pile a line over here so the wind didn't blow it in the fire. And we finally got it up to the hole, and it got away. We couldn't turn it around to go up the hole. It wouldn't come around. You know, it's like a stovepipe. Didn't want to come up.
It I don't know. I was just trying to think. I caught the biggest trout that was ever caught in here, and I'm trying to figure out now where I caught it. Mac was with me too,
Yeah.
my brother.
How big was it?
Hmm?
How big?
I don't know. Weight close 20 pounds.
A rainbow trout.
Yeah,
Kamloops.
Kamloops trout.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there was good fish in there. I can tell
We
you.
went fishing in Davis Lake. Do you know where Davis Lake
Mhm,
is?
mhm.
It's kind of a shallow lake,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I've been there, yeah.
And the fish are not that good in the kind of muddy.
They get muddy, yeah.
Muddy.
Yeah.
Boy, did we catch the fish in
Did
that
you?
lake.
Yeah.
Lake. Well,
Where?
we both were fishing, both of us, and we couldn't get them, net them fast enough.
Yeah.
They got away, some of them, because he was trying to net his and then had to net mine, and
Mm-hmm.
we were catching them all at once. The
Mm-hmm.
best fishing that I ever went was at Davis Lake
Mhm.
there. We had a picture of it with a big string of fish like this.
Mm-hmm. How many do you suppose were on the string?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We had just a string of fish. They were
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
biting
but
that
I
day.
think
You
they
still-
was catching them with a net.
And there was an Indian there fishing, and he
Yeah.
wasn't catching anything, and he sure gave me the looks.
I'll
Those
bet
fish that I had, I should have given him some, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
We brought them home and gave them all away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I should have gave the old Indian a couple of fish.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting any, and we were getting them all.
What were you using for bait? Worms?
I don't know what the heck we had on there.
Yeah.
I think it was worms.
Yeah, yeah. But after a while, you started to fly fish, didn't you, West? He used
Oh yeah, I
flies.
used to fly fish.
You used to fly fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throw the line?
And you know, and I was just thinking, last night it was, I was thinking, and I was wondering I got a fly pole, you know. An English fly pole
You
was
gave it-
over $100.
You gave them all away to the kids, Wes.
Hmm?
You gave them all
Yeah, I
away to
gave
the
them all
kids.
to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Give them all to Linda and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they ever used them, but they might have occasion to use them sometime.
Yeah, and besides,
And
it's
he-
something that Grandpa had,
You
right?
give this whole big box like this,
Full of flies?
full of flies and bait and trolling stuff.
Yeah, those big silver blades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, and the goldfish
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that. He gave them all away to the kids.
You didn't remember which lake that was in, did you? That you caught that big one?
That was in, out there, Allen Lake, is it? Oh,
Was it Allen Lake or I don't know.
yeah, that was
It
Allen
wasn't
Lake.
with you, that's for sure.
Sure it wasn't, we had them. It was an Allen Lake. I
Yeah.
thought.
I'll bet you had him on for a while. I'll bet he fought bad.
Mm. And I've got a trolling outfit in that pothole at the upper end of that little lake there.
Yeah.
It's just worth $120 today.
And it fell in.
Yeah, and we could fish that. We took a young fella out here, he was a diver,
Yeah?
and he young, you know, lived alongside of us small over here. And but he couldn't go deep enough to take it. I don't know how deep that damn lake is, honestly. I don't
but
think
it's
anybody
deep,
else.
huh?
Just an old crater or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Pothole.
Mhm.
Pothole's got some nice fish in it. Yeah.
But-
How'd you drop that in?
Hmm?
How did you drop it in? How did it fall in?
Well, I laid it across the canoe, you know,
Oh,
and filled a big pipe or some other damn thing, you know. and the canoe tipped and slid in on me.
oh.
The boat or whatever I had, I guess the canoe I had, I fished a lot of the canoe.
My son dropped his in last summer too.
Hmm?
My son dropped his rod in. My son Carl.
Yeah.
He dropped his rod in too, and boy was he upset. But I could see where he dropped it in, and I saw a cast over there. Sure enough, I hooked his line. I got the line with a great big spoon, you know, with 3 hooks on it. Pulled it up, and there's the line hanging on my hook. So I rowed the boat over so I was directly above it, and just real careful, I pulled it up. And it came up. Got his rod back. Oh, was he happy.
But you take that pothole at the upper end of the lake there, Allen Lake, I don't know how deep that damn place is.
Mm.
No, sir.
Did you guys stock that from the Fish and Game?
Well, we stocked it, but it didn't do very good. So we used to just chase them. There's a hole in between the lakes there. There's a place the water goes through, you know.
You chase
So
them
we
through, huh?
let them go through there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't spawn in there. There was no chance for them to spawn in that
Mhm.
lake, as far as I know.
Mhm.
But they just spawn in the other lake there, Allen Lake, and
Mhm.
up in there.
Is that Aileen Lake that you were at?
Hmm?
Aileen Lake, Pothole Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
like
then that
that.
lake just down this way from them there in there. That's a good lake to fish in. You know. Agnes and I used to have good luck there.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to go fish in Summers Creek.
Oh, that's fun.
That's where my daughter used to like to fish,
Yeah,
Summers
yeah.
Creek.
Yeah.
She'd catch little fish. Like
Yeah.
we had a whole frying pan full of little wee
Oh, are
fish,
they good?
and we fried them over the fire.
Right out there, huh?
Yeah, we fried them
Yeah,
right out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Made
Oh.
coffee and everything.
I'll bet they still talk about that, don't they?
Well, Linda still remembers the picnic that we had up at Tulameen. She talks about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she remembers the others very too much, but I had a great big pot of chicken, all fried and everything, and we took that with us, and took some potatoes, and took some vegetables, tomatoes and tomatoes and cucumbers,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I made chicken and chips up
Oh,
there for
wow,
them.
wow.
We heated it up on our little camp stove,
Yeah, yeah.
and I fried the chips,
Mm-hmm.
and they had nice hot chips with hot chicken
Oh,
and all these vegetables to go with it.
you better stop. You're making me hungry.
Well, they remember that, and I remember that too.
Yeah.
It was a nice
We
day.
used to have
Yeah.
some good trips. Well.
Sure. Sure.
We used to pack a big lunch box full of sandwiches and all this sort of
And go
stuff.
fishing
Go
somewhere.
fishing and then come out and make our coffee over the campfire, which
Mhm.
was good coffee. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. I've got one of the coffee pots at this. You know Oriel Allen,
Yeah.
her dad,
Mm-hmm.
Oulette or whatever.
Yeah.
He made
Mazette.
Mosette. Yeah.
Mazette.
I got a coffee pot that Mr. Mosette made.
Yeah?
Beautiful thing. It's about
Oh, well,
this
the
big.
big one.
Yeah, with the little lid on it that
Yeah.
fits real good and tight so the ashes don't fall in.
Yeah.
And he made it all by hand.
Yeah.
I don't
Wes
see.
used to work for him.
Did you? Did you
Hmm?
work for him?
Yeah.
Big pardon?
Did you work for Molette?
But that sure.
Sure.
Worked for them.
He
Yeah.
used to.
Worked for them and
And he used
went
to.
in there and made stovepipes
used to
for a
make
while.
stovepipes
I'm a
for
tinsmith, but myself, I helped. Well, I made stovepipes in there. He used to. They all come in here flat, and he made all the stovepipes for the whole country, Merritt and Tulameen and God, all over. It was all manufactured right here in Princeton.
Is that right?
They all
Did he
worked
have one of
in.
those rollers that you put the metal in and it
Yeah.
curved it?
Yeah.
He had-
Oh, hell, he had everything. He
Yeah.
could make anything. He was a
Where was
real
his shop?
Hmm?
Where did he have his shop? Where did he work?
Shop? Well, it's just the other side of the. Where was it? My gosh, it's where the courthouse is on other.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah.
used to make all kinds
Would you
of
like
things.
to see that pot that he made?
I wouldn't mind.
Would you like to see that coffee pot he made?
Well, no doubt I have seen it.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring it over someday
Okay.
and you can see it. It's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah.
What's it made out of?
It's made out of sheet metal.
Sheet metal.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real mechanic,
Steel.
that fella.
Steel.
Mm-hmm.
He was-
Steel.
And all the seams are folded over and flattened.
Yeah.
No solder,
No.
because it would melt in the fire, you know, in the campfire. So it's all put together with just like folded over, you know,
Well,
and then
many
that
of the
tap shut.
stovepipe I put together for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Times he'd get caught up, you know, and I'd be coming home from work and got 100 stovepipes here. He said, "You've got to go put them through Really, you better stay an hour and come over and have supper with me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd go in and
Yeah.
turn out stovepipes till hell wouldn't have them.
Boy, I got a bad one on my stove right now, a bad stovepipe. I should change it,
Have you
boy.
got wood? Are you burning wood?
Just in my little wood shop. I make things out of wood, you know, like juniper wood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I made a box just recently that I'm real proud of. You'll have to come over to my house someday and visit me, and I can show you these things.
Never get him over there. He never goes anyplace.
Would you come over to my house someday?
Oh, gosh, I think.
Okay. Well, I'll bring a couple things over to show you.
But you can take Mazette here. He was one of the, and I'm a mechanic myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a machinist by profession.
Yeah.
And by gosh, you know, I never saw a man like that could look at a thing and go into the damn shop and just never measure a damn thing or anything else and come out and here you'd have whatever the hell it was, whether it's a box or a stovepipe or a tackle box or what. God, he was a great mechanic.
Yeah. Oriel's real good too. Oriel Allen.
She's a lovely person.
Oh yeah, and can she work with cloth and knitting and she can really do cloth work, quilting, needlework, knitting, anything like that.
Yes, sir. Her old man and I were pretty good friends.
Yeah.
We done a lot of hunting and fishing together.
My daughter is kind of gifted too. She and her little boy, he can draw.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I guess he's taken after you, Grandma, she said.
Yeah.
And she makes different things. She made that owl there and the other thing on the wall there.
With the flowers in it, the
yeah,
little roses. Yeah.
She makes different things and she makes sofa pillows, sofa cushions, you know.
Is that called macrame? That's macrame that she does, yeah. What do you do for a pillow that explodes? Throw it out? The ticking, you know, the thing the pillow's in. There's all the feathers, and then the cloth ticking that goes around the pillow. It's just so fragile, it's just ripping and going apart.
Take the feathers out and put in another pillow.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Take the feathers out.
The feathers are too good to throw away.
I had one here at feathers and I had to get rid of it because it gave me the sneezers.
Oh yeah, allergic.
Yeah. Sneeze.
Yeah.
So we bought new pillows, which I know darn good.
They're nothing like the old pillows.
No.
Those old English quilts that had eiderdown in them. You know, those feathered down quilts.
Well, he had a sleeping bag of eiderdown.
Yeah.
Said it was the warmest sleeping bag that he ever had.
Yeah.
Could sleep
I
right
had
out
a
in the
real
snow with it.
eiderdown bag, and my brother, he just ruined it.
How?
He's smoking cigarettes in bed and
Oh.
burnt frozen. I paid $400 for it.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Genuine.
Where'd you get it?
At Mac.
Good old Mac. You still liked him though.
Yeah, well, he was a good man for his size.
Yeah.
We got
Used
lots
to
of
burn
hard
holes
work.
and everything with his cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
He
burn a
was a
hole in
good
my chair,
carpenter,
too.
boy. Ever drove a nail, boy. Builder. But,
Well, when are you going fishing?
hmm?
When are you going fishing now?
When am I going fishing? I'll never fish no more, I guess.
Why?
Oh, I'm getting too old.
Oh,
I don't
you
know
believe
whether
that,
I could,
Agnes?
if I fell in,
He's
I don't
90.
know whether I could swim
Sure,
or not.
but look at if we went out to the lake and he sat on the shore with the bobber out there. I like that. You know, you sit there and
Yeah.
watch that bobber
Yeah.
just sitting there on the water, and then it starts to bounce a little bit, and then whoop, it's gone. And you wonder when to set the hook. You know, you're always wondering when to pull. You're never too young or too old for that. I don't think so. You're never too old to go out bobber fishing.
I don't know. I was trying to think of something. I
He
think
won't
I,
even go in my daughter's car when she comes. Or when
I
Bob
think I
and they
caught
come
the
in their
biggest trout that
other
ever was
car.
brought into Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's sure.
He won't go anyplace.
What lake do you think that was in?
Oh, we fished them all, but you take Allen Lake out there was a good lake.
Yeah.
Sandy
You know,
Lake.
they
And the
don't-
other one above it was a good lake too, but the trout were smaller because I guess they'd been planted later.
Is that Aileen Lake? Allen
Allen Lake.
Lake?
And you know something?
Allen.
I helped pack them damn fish in there with a 4-gallon can of water and a
Mhm.
couple of dozen fish in it, on our backs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They pack fish up to, oh, where was that? That mosquito lake. Where was that lake? What was it called?
Harmon Lake.
No, the one that was up on top of the hill was full of mosquitoes.
Oh, God.
Wolf Lake, was it? Wolf Lake? No.
Oh, out here.
Out there.
Oh, yeah.
What was the name of
Oh,
that?
I know what you mean. I know. It's not Wolf Lake. It's
What the devil?
Hornet Lake.
Hornet Lake,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hornet Lake.
And instead of having hornets up there, they had mosquitoes
Yeah,
up there.
I know they do.
And they nearly eat us alive.
Oh,
we had to
you are
get out
kidding.
of there.
Are you kidding? Hey, do you know how to get rid of hornets around your campsite? Okay, have you got a cup or a cup? Can I? I'll show you. I got to illustrate this one. I'll show you something here. Okay, I use this.
Come here and lay down, Jay.
Go on.
Come here, BJ, and lay down.
Okay. I got to illustrate it with these two things. Okay.
Come on, now, lay down.
Watch out for that.
Okay. Now you got hornets and you got a problem. Okay. You can't live in the same area with these hornets. So you take a fish, okay, and you tie it on a string and you tie it on a branch of a tree. Okay? Your fish is hanging there. Then you put a bucket of water, anything underneath. And the hornets, the yellow jackets, they'll eat the fish. And they get so full, they fall off into the water and drown.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's true. They can't fly. They'll eat till they can't fly.
Come on, get it
And ducks will do the same
Come
thing.
on.
Ducks will eat till they
Come on.
can't fly, too.
Oh, come up here, come on.
So in case
Come
you
on,
get stuck
come
with
on,
hornets
come on.
sometime, I
Get
guess
over
that's
here.
what you do.
They're
Yeah.
sure. We had hornets down at the other house there.
Yeah.
Have to be careful of those knives because they're
Sharp.
what do you call them?
What?
These knives there. They're what do you call that blade?
Stainless steel?
It's stainless steel, all right, but it's called.
What, is that one of the good knives?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, look.
Oh, gosh, yeah. But they're, yeah, this here's stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nut there right on it there.
Yeah, but
Vanadium?
the
Hmm?
vanadium bladed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This is the
That's
way I
what
always
I'm
grab them
saying.
like that, and then I hand them to people
Be
like that.
careful of them. We
Yeah.
have to be careful.
Yeah.
Of them.
What did you get your big fish on? What lure?
Hmm?
What lure did you get your big one on?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I had so much. And I guess Linda must have took my tackle box. She took
Mhm.
the rods and everything.
Oh yeah, you gave the tackle box to the kids.
Yeah.
With everything in it.
Yeah.
It was full of stuff.
I'm sure they appreciated it
Oh,
though.
I guess they liked it because
Yeah.
it belonged to him, you know.
Yeah.
But they have never used it as far as I can see. They've never used it.
Hmm.
My daughter's too busy working now.
Well, she's kind of
Linda
lucky.
was a good
She went to
fisherman.
work.
Well, she's lucky then. She
Yes.
found her job.
She got a job. She was interviewed along with a whole bunch of others,
Uh-huh.
and they picked her.
Good. Good.
And was she ever lucky to get it? I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
they picked her in the credit union office. She
Uh-huh.
works.
Uh-huh.
She makes $8 and something an hour.
Uh-huh. That's good.
She only works 3 days a week, so
Uh-huh.
she didn't want a full-time
Where
job.
Where is that?
On the Delta.
Delta, yeah.
She didn't want a full-time job. She just wanted to work 2 or 3 days a week, and that's what she got. Fridays and Saturdays and Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
So she's working today.
Mm-hmm.
She likes the extra money,
Mm-hmm.
and gives her time off to do her housework and that and everything from Tuesday
Oh.
till Thursday.
Did you ever cook bear meat? Have you ever eaten bear?
Oh God, we had a piece of bear meat given to us once,
Yeah?
and I cooked it, and nobody could eat it. It stunk. It smelled. Oh my God! Even the dog wouldn't eat it.
What?
Bear
was
meat.
it?
Bear meat.
Bear meat. Oh, God, I never could go bear meat. Ooh. Never could.
How come?
I know.
One of the best pieces of meat I ever ate was a young yearling bear that we shot out of an apple tree. He'd been feeding on apples and fruit and vegetables like that, you know.
I guess
was
if you
that
get a
a
young
goodie?
one, it's all right. But this must have been an old thing,
Yeah.
and the dog wouldn't even eat the meat. Stunk.
Have you ever shot a bear?
Huh?
Have you ever shot a bear?
Shot a deer.
A bear.
Bear. By gosh, I did shoot a bear, and I was sorry for it afterwards. And where was it now? But he tormented me. And
Wes always said, when it's cleaned and hung up, it looks too much like a man. He
They
said,
sure do. Yeah, yeah.
never liked it. I like deer and moose.
I like moose.
I like moose.
I like moose better than deer.
I do too.
It's more like beef.
If you get a
That
good
was-
one,
yeah,
if you get a good one.
Yeah. I'll bet you've shot your share of moose.
well, I haven't shot too many of them. I have shot back in New Brunswick. You used to kill a moose every fall. That was their job. That went in with the winter's meat supply.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and
You and your brothers would go out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had 7 brothers too.
How many moose would you pack away?
Oh, just one. We just killed one.
Never got more than one.
No, my old dad, boy, he was pretty sharp
Look at the
on that
robin.
stuff.
Look at the robin in the tree. Look at it.
Yep.
Can you see
The robins are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they've been
Spring
back
isn't
for a long
far
time.
behind.
No, that's
I'm
right.
glad too, boy.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever catch a salmon back there in New Brunswick?
Oh, go out and caught salmon. We go out on the wharf there on Salmon River, where the wharf where the steamers used to unload the freight and stuff. We called it a wharf, or dock, or whatever the hell you're going to call it. And you could go out there in the evenings, you know, after things quieted down, about 11 or 12 o'clock, and go out about halfway across the river, about half a mile, I suppose, and put your trolls in there. And before you'd get back to the dock, you'd have a salmon. Yes, every damn time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're good eating.
And boys, they were
Oh,
good.
they're
Them
good, yeah.
Atlantic salmon. They got these western salmon treated 40 miles.
The Atlantic seacoast has the best fish anyway.
Mm.
Lots of fish you can get back there that you can't get here.
Are you from there too, Agnes?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Boston?
hmm
Really?
hmm
I guessed Boston. Yeah.
Well, Boston was about 50 miles away from our hometown, Bridgewater,
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts.
When did you make the move west?
When I was 12 years of age,
Good. Yeah.
I came with my mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
We came across Canada.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You didn't walk.
I've been right across Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you come? Train? By
Mhm,
train?
Train to Melville, Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came by car to Hatton, Saskatchewan, and by car to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
So we came right across the continent.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I had to get my citizenship papers out before I could get my old age pension too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, married a Canadian, he was a Canadian, and those days when you got married, and you married a Canadian, you automatically became a Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work out that way when I got my
Mm-hmm.
old age pension. I had to go up to the government office here and go through a rigmarole of papers and birth certificates and wedding certificates, and oh boy, I'm telling you, I must have gone for about a week to get things straightened out before I could get my. And then when they sent it to me, they only sent me a little card like this with my picture on it.
Yeah.
But the government agent up there, I showed it to him. He says, "That's what we wanted." He says, "That's just what we wanted." He said, "You got it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Marshall.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He's a nice man. Yeah.
He sure is a nice.
He tries
person.
to help you.
Yeah, he sure does help you.
Yeah.
And then so I went over to the post office and got my form, and took it right back there, and he helped me make it out.
Mm-hmm.
We sent it right in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you had to prove that you were born,
Oh,
right?
you had to prove that you were born, that you were a Canadian. I've been here over 50 years, for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they wouldn't take it.
Mm.
Being here over 50 years, they wouldn't take it. You had to become a Canadian naturalized citizen.
So you had to go through all that too.
All that, I had to have my picture taken like I was a convict or something. Send my pictures in.
Did she have to wear a black and white suit for her picture?
Oh, I'm telling you, I sure had to go through a lot of rigmarole.
Yeah.
I sure had a lot of running around to do.
Yeah. Of course, your family went back 400 years.
Yeah, we're founding stock.
Yeah, but you were from Boston, so they didn't trust
Yeah,
Well, we came over in the Mayflower.
they come over in the
Did you?
Mayflower.
Yeah, our ancestors.
What was your maiden name?
My mother's maiden name was Smith,
Oh, that's a good English name.
and mine was Gary. She married a man by the name of Gary.
Oh, G-A-R-R-Y?
Geary.
G-E-A. Oh, yeah, okay.
That's really is Irish.
Yeah.
So I'm Irish and English.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was English, Irish. Yeah, he was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you a little something more. My mother's first cousin, his name was Lowell. Him and Oregon Miller, well, they called him Oregon Miller after I forget what his right name was, but they left and they come across Canada here. And they went down into Oregon there. And that, when Miller got back, and I forget what the hell his name was, but they always called him Oregon after that. They never called him his name no more. Oregon Miller, that's what, and he started a little sawmill there on Newcastle Creek. And they stayed there, gristmill and lumber and And mother's brother, my gosh, he was on that damn railroad someplace somehow, because I could remember getting a wire from him there, and but I was too young, I don't know. But he was someplace, and he sent her this wire, and told her, boys, I wish you were here. Is it ever sunny? And I guess it must be winter back there. So he said, I didn't know where the hell he was, but I never forgot.
I've seen the Plymouth Rock that the Pilgrims stepped off onto, in Plymouth.
Near Boston there.
Yeah.
Massachusetts Bay?
No, Plymouth.
Plymouth Bay.
Plymouth it was called.
Oh, huh.
That's where the Plymouth Rock was, they
But
they had a great big monument built up over it
Mm-hmm.
to keep people away from it because they were chipping it all off, taking it. So
Isn't that something? There's some Indian paintings down here. There's some Indian paintings, rock paintings.
Yeah.
The Indians, they had to do the same thing there. The people were chipping away at it.
Yeah, stupid.
You were going to say something, Wes.
When my people was in this country 100 years before the English knew it was here, Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a little over 100 years.
Yeah.
And I got all this stuff and that, and Linda, she's got it down there. She's got a safety deposit book.
Put it all in there, yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. I hold a captain in the Canadian Army.
You're a captain?
Yeah, sure. You're damn right. King George in the last war, I guess it was, he had to put a large spot on it, and I didn't do a damn thing.
A what spot? What did he call that? A lar spot?
I don't know what it is.
What's a lar spot?
Oh, damn it, I know what. For services rendered,
Oh. It's sort of a medal. Kind of an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my relatives didn't come over that early. The first Vikings were over early, but my grandfather came over in the early 1900s. So
Where'd you come from originally? Norway?
he came from Norway. He came from Norway.
Yeah.
And the other side is Irish and English and Scotch. Craig, Trelford, and Sparling, Irish, Scotch, and English, yeah. So, but then my grandfather settled in Minnesota, and that's where I was born.
You're a Yankee.
Just like her.
Norwegian stirred up Yankee.
Well, you'll have to get your papers if you want your old age pension.
How old do you think I am,
I
Agnes?
don't know how old you are.
How old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do you think I
You're
am?
old enough to know better, or should be.
In your 50s.
No,
Yeah, you're
You're not
60.
in your 50s.
no. I'm 46.
46.
What?
huh?
Yeah, I'm 46.
Gosh, you better start growing.
Yeah.
You only 46 yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're bald-headed, you're not
Oh,
married.
turn this thing.
Huh?
Huh?
Hell of a citizen you turned out to be.
He's married. He's got children.
Huh?
He's married. He's got children.
You sure?
Yes, he's married.
I was. I'm not now.
You're not now.
No. But I'm raising my son.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
What's your wife die or something?
No. It was something else. We won't go into it. It was something else.
Oh,
She left. Just left.
couldn't take you. Well, I didn't blame her much.
Yeah. So, let's see. Okay. What is the best fish story you know?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You know the funniest, the wildest? I'll bet you know one, Agnes.
No, I don't.
I'll tell you one, okay?
Forgot.
I know a place where the fishing is so good, the fish bite so well that you got to hide behind a tree to bait your hook.
Oh boy, that's a good tall story.
Doesn't that sound good?
And
You have to hide, or they'll take the bait away from you when you're putting it on the hook.
do you do any fishing around these lakes?
Do I?
Yeah.
From do you- yes, very much. Yeah, I love fishing. I showed you some flies, didn't I? That I made.
That Crater Lake, you know where Crater Lake is, don't you? There.
Yeah, I know where Crater Lake is. Yeah.
Boys, we've taken some dandy trout out of there.
That's a deep
Mhm.
lake
Oh,
though.
Mhm.
And the fish go deep down in there. It's pretty hard to get a fish on Crater Lake.
Mhm.
Pretty hard to get a fish.
They, in the summer they go real deep, huh?
Yeah, they don't bite.
Yeah.
There must be lots of feed in that lake.
Do you know where I like to fish? I can't talk without a piece of paper, it seems like. I like to fish. I like to fish in Aileen Lake. Here's the campsite here.
And
Here's
where
the-
do you fish?
I go along this little road here and I go way
Oh yeah,
back
and
in
you go
here.
up there.
And I camp right here.
Mhm.
Oh, it's beautiful there. I call that the pothole. I don't know whether it is or not, but I call that Pothole Lake. And the fish swim out of Aileen into that little lake there,
Yeah.
and that's good. Good fish in there.
Well, sir, I got a reel and rod in there. It's worth
Yeah, but
so that damn hole there, boy.
No, he dropped it overboard.
Oh, he dropped it
That's the one he dropped over, yeah. Yep. Well,
But I never had much luck in that fishing in that pothole above any lake there. Never. Some of them could get in and get one once in a while, but brother,
happened
he
to
got a
me?
nice one in there.
I was, you know how hot it is in the summer up there. It gets real hot during the day up there. So I took the kids from school. I had a class of kids at school that were tying flies. So I took them up there, and this Jim Smart, maybe you know Walter Smart. Walter Smart from Tulameen or Colma. You know Walter Smart?
Oh yeah,
Sure. Anyway, Walter's son and I were out there in my boat trolling around, and I had my line way out, a fly, you know, and just started dragging along the top. Middle of the day, it was hot, nothing was happening. We were just sort of paddling around out there, and something came up and grabbed that fly, and started dancing out there, and my line was just screaming, just going off my fly reel, just running. He was running and dancing and running and dancing, you know, like that. And then he turned around and he started coming back towards the boat underwater. And I was reeling like mad, trying to get my line back on the reel. And he darned if the line went slack. Was I sick? That fish was 5 pounds. That fish was a 5-pound camel jumping out there. And so when he turned around, my hook broke. You know how the hook has a bend in it like that? It broke right there. Not the line. It broke the hook. Broke the hook.
Took the hook with him.
Yeah, it took part of the hook.
Oh.
Part of the hook came back. It was on a fly. The fly came back and the little part with the barb on was still in the fish. And he jumped a few more times, you know, because it was in him. And then he disappeared. Oh, that was a nice fish.
I had
Those-
some good days fishing out there, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, the lake, if you, I don't know how the fishing is now, but do you know where Harmon Lake is?
I've heard of it. Bud DeWolf talks about Harmon
Hmm?
Lake. Bud DeWolf, the grocery man, Bud DeWolf,
Yeah, maybe.
he talks about Harmon Lake, yeah.
Yeah, Harmon Lake, and that we named that lake after George Harmon, who was president of the Canadian Bank of Commerce, and he was a great sportsman. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and he spent a lot of time when he tramped around. So he discovered this lake in there. He was in there roaming around with him and a bunch of us. And we named the lake Harmon Lake and recorded it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So we stopped it, but I was back there once, I think, since, and tried it, but I don't know. But
We found a lake like that in northern Minnesota,
Oh.
and there was no name on the lake. So we went in there. There were jackfish in there. So we went in there and we fished all day. And the deal was, whoever got the biggest fish got the name of the lake. And this one kid by the name of King, Harold King, he caught the biggest jackfish. So we all talk about King Lake now. That's how we decided who was going to get the name for that lake.
But this was a wonderful country in here, this Princeton, you know, for anybody who was really a sportsman, you know. There was lots of game.
It still is. Compared to other places, this still is a wonderful country for game. Yeah,
Not many deer here anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you another little story.
Okay.
I brought the first car, drove the first car ever driven into Princeton, my brother and I.
Huh.
And there
What
was no
kind?
damn road either.
Ford.
A Ford?
No,
Was
it was a Chevy.
I
A
thought it was
Chef?
a Ford.
Ford.
Huh.
Four-cylinder Chevy.
Huh.
And we pushed that thing and we got it in here anyway. No road. There was hauling iron ore from down across the Bay of Fundy there, from that mill down there, you know, pulling it across there, and then they was hauling it with horses up through here up to a steel mill up in that country there. And
What country was that? Around here? What country was it that they were hauling that steel in?
they was hauling it right up through here and up north here, where that big steel mill is still there, I guess.
In Kamloops? Is there a steel mill?
Up there, what the hell do they call it?
Do you know the one?
I don't know.
Uh,
It was before,
I'll
before
never
I
think of
ever
the
knew
name
it.
of it, but anyway, it was
Mhm.
no use to be bothering my head about it, but it's up there.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
No more. It's gone now.
and what I was going to tell you,
Mm-hmm. About that old
The-
car?
you know, the first lady that I met coming into this country is still alive,
Oh, yeah.
and we're the two of the last.
Yeah, yeah. What's her name?
Mrs. Angstead.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before. That
Do you know Mrs. Angstead?
she's in the home, isn't she? Up there at by the hospital,
Is she up there?
I believe.
I don't know where she is. She could tell you lots of things.
Yeah. I asked Mr. Chin, you know, the manager of the hospital in
I don't know.
that home there, and
But-
he said sure. He said come on over and talk. He said, and yeah.
And
Are you all talked out?
no,
Oh, okay. I was going to turn.
when Mac and I and somebody else packed the first fish into that lake up, that great fishing lake up there. Oh, no. And we took them in, you know, and we were stupid. We should have just left the other lake there and just went over the hill to it, you know. But we took them out around the damn road and away in there, and I never was so glad to jump fishing in a lake and
They were all on your back, huh?
Huh?
They were on your back.
Yeah.
Oh.
And water, you know, boy,
Yeah.
slopping and slithering around.
What happened if you tripped?
Hmm?
What happened if you tripped and fell?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Drowned
fish
it
would
up
go
there,
out.
so.
Yeah.
All the fish.
Try to find the nearest creek in a hurry, huh?
All the fish would go out.
But about the funniest thing that ever happened out to that lake out there, and I laugh about it every time I think about it. Every time I see my brother, we'd see your brother. That's the first thing he. Do you remember an Italian fellow? And I forget what his name was, but he lived in East Princeton down there, and he was a great fisherman and a swell guy too, you know.
Mm.
And he went out there with this fancy $70 rod and the whole kind of it, and we cut this hole, and he put his rod in it, and we was wiggling away, and Mac looked up, and he said to him, "My God, your rod's gone on the end of the new $70 rod was just going down the hill in the lake, and that's all he ever did of it."
Oh no.
We fished for that the next summer and drove and
It went right through the hole in the ice.
Hmm?
It went right through the hole in the ice.
Yeah.
Down it went.
Yeah.
Why didn't he keep a hold of it, the silly goof? I don't
But
know
that
why
lake
they-
is
why-
deep up there.
Why they
Oh,
don't keep
pardon
a
me.
hold of their rods. Might know that they'd go down in the lake.
Oh, it happens to the best of them.
Wes lost a good pipe in the lake too.
Yeah, boy, of course, I'm gonna tell you.
How'd you do
I
that?
don't know, bottom
Drop
another
it
one.
right through the hole?
He dropped it out of his mouth
Into the hole.
into the lake.
Oh, there was the summer, huh?
And it was a good pipe. It was one of these aluminum pipes, like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And you could take the top off and clean it out, and
Uh-huh,
it cost quite a lot, you know.
uh-huh.
He prized that pipe.
Oh, I've
lost it
enjoyed
in
the
the
country
lake.
quite a lot.
It was real light. It was a light pipe.
Mhm.
It wasn't heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Lots of things went overboard in the lake.
Yeah. My son and I went overboard in Dry Lake.
Mm,
We tipped a canoe in Dry Lake. I think there were roughly 750 flies I lost. 750 flies, and I lost a reel, my glasses. All kinds of other assorted goodies. I still don't know what exactly I lost. But I didn't lose Carl, and that was the important
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's good.
That's the
Did he get a hold of the canoe?
No, he grabbed my head. I was paddling around the water, and he crawled over, Carl did, and he grabbed a hold of my head. He was 22 months.
Oh, my God.
And he paddled over in his little life jacket, crawled up on my head, sat up right on the top of my head like a raccoon. And he had his arms around me like this, and when he did that, he pulled the glasses off, you know. But I didn't much care. In fact, I didn't even realize the glasses were gone for about an hour.
Mm.
But he was safe. That's the main thing.
Sure is the main thing.
One time I had an experience though. I was out beaver trapping, and it was winter, and I was walking down this river, and when I came to this dam, just in front of the dam, the ice is thin, and I went right through. And I had a pack sack, and I had traps in there, and I had snowshoes on,
Oh, God.
and I went through that ice. Needless to say, I'm here. I got out, but boy, it was scary for a minute.
I should think so.
But, you know, I'll tell you a trip if anybody wanted to know what it is to get out, take care of yourself. We went into the North Country to that mine up there, way up north there. What do they call it? Right in the northern corner. What do they call that damn mine? It's a big mine now.
In BC?
No, back in Ontario.
Oh, the nickel mine? Nickel?
Nickel,
Gee.
that isn't what they call it. It's a big city in there now.
I know what you mean.
They tell me that.
You know
Woman
that
down
mine,
here is up there.
that big
But
mine?
anyway,
No,
They make nickel? They get
No.
nickel?
I don't recall it.
Mac and I, we went in there. And we were prospecting, you see, my brother. We went in there to that nickel mine, and we looked her over, and we started across that damned ice field. And do you know where we come out? At this lake up here, they call it Diefenbaker Lake there in Saskatchewan. And we hit a dead on center. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we packed a damn canoe, you know. And it was lucky we did too, I thought afterwards, and when we come to this Indian camp there,
Yeah.
and I can still see them in there, and this old woman was this throwed her char and one, and when we come up and threw the canoe down, she let a grunt out of her, and out comes another fish on a stick, and there was two fish in. So I said to back, look, so we're going to get something to eat anyway. So he said, oh, I can damn well do it, so he, because we just frozen bread, that's all we had for 2 days, anyway. So
You know,
we
they were
got-
pretty good to the people that came in, really, the Indians. Until the people started to treat them bad, the Indians were pretty decent to the first white settlers.
Yeah.
But them Indian people, I never met them in poor Indian band in my life. Oh, God, they'd give you the shirt right off their back.
Mm-hmm.
I know we stayed there that night, and they had this brush lean-to. It would be about, oh, I suppose 12 feet square maybe
Mm-hmm.
in there, and there was just browse on the ground, you know. But no, and they couldn't speak a damn word of English. But this old lady, she'd tell one of these Indians, and they'd come get it by the arm and take it in and showed us her bed, and the boughs, they'd pile them up, the mat or some boughs must be that thick.
That'd
Talk
be about
about a bed, holy
9
moly.
inches thick. I'll bet it felt good, huh?
Yeah.
After all that hiking you guys have been doing.
Boy, I've got an awful lot of respect for the Canadian Indian. Oh, I'm telling you, I never had one of them ever ill-treat me or didn't give me anything I wanted.
Did you ever meet any Indians back in the Maritimes, or were they all gone? Were there any Indians back in the Maritimes?
Well, there was Indians in the Maritimes, and they were all by themselves, you see. Now, I'll just open something there that would keep me going. And they're still there too, and there's a big union, or whatever you'd call it, a big village of them, and on the other side of the river, St. John River, right from Fredericton, the city of Fredericton, the capital, and the side hill, and oh, it's higher than that hill there, but before it goes, runs back, not so steep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all Indians in there when I was there.
Mm-hmm. Did
And
you
you know,
play with them?
Hmm?
Did you play with some of the young boys?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
And you know, one of them was the big head guy in the university in New Brunswick.
Well, sure.
That
Sure,
showed that, and
sure.
boy, he was clever too. And I'll tell you how I know that was this. He used to be here, old Pearlie Russell. He was from back there, and he was telling me about this
Mhm.
guy.
Mhm.
Then I got fishing around talking to somebody else, and they knew about it, but I never knew that
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
were.
You know that one of the greatest athletes of all time was an Indian? You might know. Jim Thorpe. Do you know that name? Yeah. He won, in the Olympics, he won not only the
Yeah.
decathlon, he won the pentathlon. Those are the two greatest tests of athletic skill there is. And he was, did you ever go hunting or fishing with any of those Indian boys?
Hmm?
Did you ever go hunting and fishing with any of the Indians? With the kids?
No, I don't. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Don't remember. But okay, of course, when we were kids back there, we might have been out with them because there was a tribe of Indians right there, and they used to come along the house, and Mother she used to make lots of bread, you know, so she
And they
would
like
always
that.
have a big pan full of bread about that long, you know,
Oh,
big
wow.
old.
Yeah, yeah.
And she always had that for the Indians.
And they loved it all that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boys, and they'd bring in all kinds of, lots of stuff we didn't care much for. They'd catch them damn big suckers, we called them,
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I know what they are.
yeah.
Yeah,
and they'd bring them in, and salmon and everything.
yeah.
The Indians are an awful fine race of people, you know.
I
that.
know it, yeah,
You're
yeah.
damn right,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. It's a crime the way we treated them.
You boys, you can say that
It
again.
really was. It was.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
No, we just took over. That's all. Took and
Yeah, they
pushed
should
them
give
off.
it back to them now. They made such a mess
You
out of it.
wouldn't take it back.
Did you hear that?
No, they wouldn't take it back, likely. They
Because
likely wouldn't.
when the Indians threw that north country, why, you would get short of a bite to eat unless the Indian villages was too far apart. You know damn well you'd get a place to sleep and lots to eat.
Hmm.
If their food, and if their food was good food.
If they had any, they shared. If they had any food,
I
they
tell
shared.
ya.
That was their policy. Yeah.
And that old lady, I can still see her there, and boys, I was glad to see her, and so was my brother too, boys, we were tired. Walked for days dead ahead over that ice, you know, heavy wind and a damn canoe. It's the damnedest thing out in wind you ever saw.
Oh yeah, like
The
a
old-
sail.
Yeah.
It's like trying to walk with a sail up in the
Yeah.
air. You know? You know what we used to do as kids? We used to take a piece of cardboard and our skates, put our ice skates on, and go out on the ice, you know, and hold up this piece of cardboard.